Hello, She Sites, ardent readers and audience. Welcome to another energizing episode of She Site Magazine's She Writer Series podcast, where we step into the heartwarming tales of exceptional women who've made a mark in diverse fields. Today, we have the pleasure of sitting down with one such enterprising woman, Nivedita Chitnis, a prolific writer, an accomplished human resource professional, and an invaluable cornerstone of the She Site writers community, playing a vital role in our collective journey. Now, let me tell you a bit more about her. Nivedita, our guest today, discovered her love for writing when she was practically a child. And fast forward to college, and she is already rocking the scene with thought provoking pieces on everything from social issues to what's happening right now. Imagine her actively getting into the groove by being all hands on in the college magazine, just casually honing those storytelling skills. Then life took her to the corporate jungle. IBM India, Behr India, Thermax, you name it. At Behr India, she wasn't just your average HR pro. She was also the wizard behind corporate communication, juggling magazines, events, and even setting up the intranet.
Wow.
Now, fast forward again and pause. Life takes a turn, a detour for raising kiddos, like with most of us. But hey, dedication doesn't have an off switch here. So even during the mom hiatus, she's out there, keeping her writing game strong with freelance gigs in HR and corporate communications. That's commitment, my friends. And guess what? Today, in our chat, we are going to talk about Nivedita's roller coaster journey from college scribbles to corporate hotshots, and there's more. So, buckle up, friends. Welcome, Nivedita.
Hi, Neha. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. Okay.
Nivedita, it's always a trip down memory lane thinking about our college days as batchmates and friends. I've known you since then. So, let me
Right.
start this conversation by taking us back to those times. Can you share a vivid memory from college days when you first discovered your love for writing and how it stuck with you over the years?
Okay. I think I'll give the credit to my younger brother for this.
Hmm.
He's an animal lover. He still is.
Okay.
And he would, go out on the streets and he'll pick up any stray dog or cat or any kind of animal. And he would just start nursing, feeding, and he loves dogs and animals.
Okay.
So, and he wanted a pet at home, and my father was just against it. So, but when my father saw his love for animals, so even he had to bow down. And then he only got a dog for him, a German Spitz
Oh, okay.
dog.
Uh-huh.
And initially, my father was very upset about it, of course, and he wouldn't let him in the house in like a normal family member, not on the bed, not he had a lot of restrictions for the dog.
Yeah.
But then gradually, this dog was also very nice, and he started mesmerizing my father, and he won over him.
Oh, wow.
And then ultimately, that dog also became part of the family. He was a
Hmm.
family member. He was treated like a family member. So this is how the story goes. But this emotion, this human feeling, the connection between humans and animals, this had to be penned down. So that was my first story, and it was published in Times of India.
Oh my God. Look at
So
the break.
this is how.
Directly, such a big brand. That's lovely. That's interesting. Oh, wow. How old were you, Nivedita, then?
Yeah. I think I was in college, 18, 19 years old.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. What happened after Times of India?
Yes. After Times of India, I had covered another story on total solar eclipse, which was at Allahabad, which
Okay.
was witnessed at Allahabad. And
Hmm.
I did the entire story about how, like 2 months in advance, I told people of Allahabad through of course, my write-ups, the path it's going to follow, and what all precautions, because that was after a very long time that the solar eclipse was going to be witnessed. So people
Yeah.
were not really aware of what are the precautions to be taken and what you can expect, how this process is. That time, it was time, those times there was no Google,
Yeah.
so
So
it was
you,
fun covering,
yeah.
and
So
I
you
met a
did
lot
your
of people.
research and then you
Right.
included all that information in your. Okay. So I think this was mid
Yeah.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 95 in October
95.
95.
Yeah. Wonderful. So
Yes.
that also got published.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It got published, and I was on the national TV also.
Oh my
There was
goodness. Oh,
this, yeah.
wow.
So it was a lot of fun meeting different people from different walks of life. And
Yeah.
I also met Dr. Jayant Narlikar, the father of Indian space sciences.
Awesome.
Mm.
Wow.
So
All right.
that was,
That's,
yeah,
yeah. So that's how it all began. And it started on a
right.
big, big, big note. Wonderful. So now let me go to my next question, Nivedita.
Yeah,
You've had a
yeah.
diverse career from working in the HR at IBM and Bear India to freelancing. So, how did your experience in human resources contribute to your
Mhm.
writing journey?
When you are in human resources, you meet a lot of people from different walks of life,
Hmm.
from diverse cultures, diverse regions, diverse social status, from all age groups.
Yeah.
And you get to connect a lot because of your professional role. And I used to love talking to these people. And you try to understand their human mindset, human emotions, and all these help in crystallizing your thoughts for your writings. So it was wonderful. Like, I really enjoyed my role and
Mm,
celebrating with them their joys, their aspirations.
that
So
was a
all
good
this
time.
goes in writing.
All this
Yeah.
goes in writing. Yeah. True, true, true. Okay. Now, after working for a few years, you
Right.
decided to take a break from work. And many
That's
women
true.
today can relate to, this big decision of taking a break from their careers to raise children. So I want to ask you, Nivedita, how did this break change how you see work, and what did you do to stay in touch with your professional interests during that time?
I think in my case, I was fortunate. I mean, I didn't have to struggle for my bread.
Hmm.
And so I could take this break without hesitation. And firstly, I didn't want to compromise on my children's upbringing.
Yeah,
That
true.
I was very clear.
Hmm.
So I wanted to enjoy my motherhood. And after working for so long, it was more like a rat race. Every day you get up and work for 12, 13 hours, come home and sleep, and again it starts. So this was a good break. And it was fun to see children growing in front of your eyes.
True.
And being a hands-on mother was a different experience. And I don't regret it much. Of course, there were times when there were struggles. Bringing the children is not so easy,
That's true.
but
Yeah.
then I felt I did justice to my children.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And
And it has its own, charm. So you bring up children, you have
yeah,
challenges at different stages of children growing up. And,
of
when you
course.
look back, you realize, well, that was,
Yeah, so I think you need to prioritize what's important for you. In my case, it was I think children were my priority.
yeah.
So it's important to prioritize on that and not be in the rat race of corporate world always.
True, true, true.
Yeah, and I stayed in touch with my colleagues from the professional world.
Hmm.
So, and whenever there were opportunities which I could deliver without being really tied up of 9 to 5, I mean, I could do it at my pace. So
Right.
I did things like organizing events or doing something from home. That time, the work from home culture was not there
Hmm.
in early 2000s. So,
Right.
and the maternity things were not very comfortable. Like creche was not available at workplace, or the maternity leave was only for 3 months.
Mm.
And and I felt that after 3 months, even after 3 months, I could not hand over my child to a maid and go to work for 14 hours. I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't come back. So all these things, I think I did it. It was a good decision to take a break
Yes.
and
Hmm.
yeah.
All right. Okay. So now I'm going to talk about this book that you co-authored,
Yes,
Socioeconomic Dynamics of Indian Society. So I want you to
right.
tell us what inspired you to take this project up and how was the experience of collaborating on such a meaningful work?
If you see Ayurveda, yoga, and meditation,
Hmm.
these are the three things which the Western world only knows about ancient India.
True.
But
Yeah.
but actually, there's a lot more to know about ancient India. The social structure, like the caste system. If you see, I wrote about caste system in this book.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
caste system is very unique to Indian ancient Indian culture. Of course, now it has taken a different form because maybe the politicians have some vested
Yeah.
interest. But actually, it was a very good system for like how the professions have to be distributed, or the social structure has to be there. So I think I enjoyed working on this project a lot, and I got to meet a lot of experts from different fields who wrote about the structure, the social structure of the Indian society, which led to the economic prosperity of the subcontinent. And
Okay.
this helped me to delve into ancient Indian history, and my love for ancient Indian history has doubled because of this project.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Talking of books, Nivedita, your recent book, Care, COVID
Mhm.
Assistance Research Documentation. It sounds like a crucial resource. So, can you share a specific case study or story from the Care book that left an impression on you?
Yeah, sure. It was May 2020 when the lockdown was there, and it was peak of summers, and nobody had the medical fraternity, the United Nations, or the nations about how to handle the situation of COVID. They were all groping in dark.
Hmm.
But then and the infrastructure, the health infrastructure was almost on the verge of collapsing. So there were a group of volunteers and social organizations which came up together, in support of the state machinery to
Hmm.
help them in different areas. So one was this psychological counseling, and the other was mass screening. So these two topics were very, like, when I hear stories, I heard first-hand stories about from people about how this was handled. This was like hair raising. These
Okay.
people, these volunteers used to go wearing this PPE suits, and in
Hmm.
the sultry hot weather, these volunteers used to wear these PPE suits, and they used to go, leaving their families. They sacrificed, I mean, they were least bothered about their lives, and they went into the slum areas or the densely populated areas, which were considered to be the epicenter of COVID. And they used to do the mass screening of people, doing the that swab test and all these kind of tests and all. So just imagine how risky it was. We
Yeah.
we were comfortably sitting at homes, whereas these people were going out in the sun whole day wearing those PPE suits. So that was like very hair raising story. And they didn't bother about their lives. Then second was psychological counseling. There were people, when somebody is sick at home, we take so much care talking to the person, at whoever is the patient and all.
Yeah.
But during the COVID, people were quarantined in, look, unknown places. They were sent by the state, by the government, to different hospitals and whatever, wherever they were. So a lot of senior citizens, they felt that they were abandoned by their family members, and they had nobody to talk to about, even about the simple things like how, what they had for food, did they have anything, how they're feeling. So there were a group of these volunteers who used to regularly call these senior citizens, especially senior citizens,
Okay.
and they have to have a general conversation like, how are you feeling today? What did you have for food? So, kaka, are you kaka or whatever?
Hmm.
That's the way you address people here. in
To connect.
Maharashtra.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, how are you feeling today? Did you have something to eat? Simple conversation like these. And these helped a lot, these people to come out of the depression. They were going into depression. It was traumatic for these people to be abandoned in these
Yeah,
hospitals, so-called,
understandably.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
quarantine wards. So people really liked, there was psychologically, they felt better when somebody called them, even if they are not from home, like not their
Right,
family members also.
right, right.
So these were some stories which I heard, and it was like very nerve. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it was sad to hear such stories. And but thankfully, these calls helped people to come out of overcome the trauma.
Okay. Oh, that
Hmm.
was really a bad phase, and we don't really want to.
Yeah, thankfully.
All right. So let me just change the track and talk to you, ask you something different. You've worked
Sure.
in different sectors and you've contributed to different projects. So tell us, is there a specific piece of writing or project that holds a special place in your heart?
Yes, there was a story I did for Father's Day for She Site
Mm.
magazine. It's
Oh,
a,
yes, yes, yes. I remember that. That was really touching.
yeah,
Talk a little bit more about that.
yes. So I had recently lost my father. I was very close to him, like any
I'm so
other
sorry.
daughter would be.
Mm.
He was my role model, and I had to somehow, I thought of covering him somehow on this. I wanted to remember him on this Father's Day, but I didn't know how to. I was missing him, but I didn't know how to do that. And then I thought, why not take the lessons he used to, there were a lot of life lessons he used to give to me and my sister. And somehow I just covered that. It was so free flowing. It was as if, my father was making me write all this. And it was a
Mm.
very touchy piece, which it was very close to my heart, first of all. And then once it was published, there were a lot of people who, unknown people also, people like, okay, friends and relatives, they would always come and tell me, okay, I like this piece and all that. But they were
Mm-hmm.
unknown people from like friends of friends, something like that you can say. They used
Mm-hmm.
to they read that, and they found that to be very touching, and they told me that it was very relatable and interesting, and yeah, it was appreciated a lot. So I
Yes.
think that was a very special piece for me.
Yes, and it was beautifully written, and we got some really nice comments on the article that we published. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So, with your experience in the HR and corporate communication, how important do you think good communication is during tough times like COVID-19 pandemic? So I want you to give us some tips. What tips would you share with professionals who are dealing with similar situations?
I think communication is very important. It's just the weaving of words, and you can create a magic out of it during the tough times. Like I just told you about psychological counseling
Mm-hmm.
case study. So just by simply talking with genuineness, if you talk to a person, and it helps in raising his spirits.
Very true.
You
Very
can
true.
just A lot of people from depression have come out of just because somebody, just even a stranger talking to you nicely with all genuineness and sincerity,
Mm,
it has helped in just coming out of the depression.
true. So now, here's my last question for you, Nivedita.
Okay. Yeah.
What kind of writing projects or topics are you excited to work on in the future? And do you have any dreams or goals you're aiming for right now?
Like I told you, I worked for this book called Socioeconomic Dynamics of Indian Society. And it made me delve down into Indian ancient history. And
Mhm.
now that has become my first love. And second is mathematics. So recently I did a piece on Mathematics Day for She Site magazine
Yes. Oh,
only.
yes.
So I connected both ancient Indian history and mathematics. So I think something would be coming up on this in near future, and maybe short stories, a book on short stories would be also be in offing.
Wonderful, wonderful. I wish that all your dreams come true and we get to read amazing articles and amazing books by you.
And thanks to She Site magazine for creating this platform for nurturing budding writers and entrepreneurs to showcase their talent. So it's a wonderful platform where people talk about women narratives and what the issues being faced by women.
You for such wonderful, kind words for us, Nivedita. And that wraps up our insightful conversation with the amazing Nivedita Chitnis. A big thank you, Nivedita, for sharing your incredible journey with us. Your experiences, your wisdom, and passion have truly inspired us all. And another big thank you for contributing regularly to SheSite platform. Your articles are loved all across the globe by SheSite readers. You know that, right? And to our listeners, thank you for joining us today. Stay tuned for more engaging stories and conversations in future episodes. Until then, this is Neha, your friendly host, signing off. Take care and stay inspired. Thank you. Thanks, Nivedita.